Hello there, welcome back to France. The last time we declared war on the Ottomans. Currently it's going rather well. We also joined into a war with Lithuania on the, Polish side here. Poland is currently winning, mostly due to our interference, as you can see, with the sieging and everything. So it's going to be interesting to see just how this will work out in the end, because as you can see here, this is a rather huge army, running around causing trouble. We are basically sieging all the castles, which means that, Poland does, in theory, have the upper hand. It's, solely due to our interference, if you will, if you want to put it that way. But with that said, we're going to continue our side of the war here, which is basically just, conquering whatever we want at this point. And currently we have a couple of armies here besieging the land that we lost to Kazan and Lithuania, so that's perfectly fine, shouldn't be any problems at all. And I've also here, as you can see, started sieging the area that I am going to take from the Ottomans. It should be, it should be pretty straightforward and more or less be ready for taking very, very soon. But while that is happening, we just have to wait a little bit, but as I said, this should be done rather soon. We did some wiping of Ottoman armies last time. We had a couple of armies of 40 and 50, around 40,000 men that we wiped, so I wouldn't be too concerned with the continuation of this war. It should be over rather soon. So I'll go ahead and siege, and if there's any bigger battles, I'll get back to you. So Poland just made peace with Bohemia for the treaty that Bohemia will give the cause to Bavaria, 2 of them, and paying money. But basically the war with, Kazan and the Ottomans is basically over. Currently we're waiting for one siege to complete, but because they've given us such a nice opportunity, and it would just be mean not to take, good care of this, the Ottomans have landed 2 of their biggest forces here, or basically their remaining forces are here now. And they've, prostrated them rather nicely before me. So what we're going to do here is go ahead and attack, which is one wipe. As you can see here, they lost 20,000 something forces. And let's just do another one quickly here on the other one here. Poland looks weird now, but let's just see here what happened. Lithuania will cede Palenque, Volhynia, Yeresan. Jesus, Poland took a lot. 3, 6, 8 provinces. Course 3 cores to Russia. Polotsk has been released and they will pay money, so that's an interesting one. Poland might though end up in an interesting situation here now because of, basically all the land they took. If we take a quick look at it, they basically took all of this and they connected their lands with mine, which I find hilarious because as far as I know, I handed all of their cores back to them, so that shouldn't have been an issue. I am very tempted now to make moves on both Polotsk and Russia to just get myself a little bit of a, the map won't really look a lot prettier, but it'll be a little bit more sensible. With that said, however, we are, price of spice is increased by 50%, 2,000 ducats, 20 prestige. I was very concerned though that my prestige were as low as it was, but we are challenging an Ottoman army here, which got completely wiped. I think that is one of my biggest, victories so far in this game. I lost 5,500 troops versus their 50,000, so it's a pretty nice victory. And I believe we are at the same tech. I haven't actually teched up yet, so yes, we were at the same tech, which makes the victory even sweeter. But as you can see here, it seems like good old vassalage is having some troubles here, Albania. But for us here, what we're currently just waiting for is again just that truce with, or rather siege of this province, and then we'll make peace with the Ottomans, which will actually happen now. And let's see, as I said, we will take everything in this region. We'll take this. This will be what I'll take for myself, just to again make it a little bit safe, get a little bit more of a stronghold there. We will have them give back the course they can to Albania. They actually had 4 Albanian cores, which is a little bit interesting. But we'll also take these provinces to boot. And I think I will take Biga and Hudaven Nigar, because it will block off the Ottomans from actually getting across should Albania decide to give them the access to, well, to move. And I'm also very tempted to just take these 2 islands because they are annoying. So I'll take Girit or Crete in this one, and we'll take the Knights Island in the next one. So let's just go ahead here, make peace. Boom, war with the Ottomans is over. I get a 72.8 aggressive expansion penalty and basically 100 power projection, which is rather nice. I can actually construct the Kiel canal right now, but we won't do that. It's just a waste of money. And to be perfectly honest, making a channel between the over here, not really worth it. It's, you save what, half a month each time you do it. So in terms of saving money, it would not be valuable at all. Let's just say that. But I do have a fair amount of provinces now that I have to, well, core before we end up in a ton of trouble. And luckily enough, we seem to have most of the admin points we need. I'm missing some, sadly, so we could potentially get in trouble here. Now, on a second note, I realized that we actually have a disaster here, the French Revolution. I have no idea if that's actually connected to the achievement, but it might be. We'll have to look into that. But basically, it means that we need to have stability less than 0, or there are things that can trigger it. I need to have stability less than 0, I can have more than 50 loans, I can have inflation of 10%, war exhaustion at least 10, or less prestige than 0. Out of these, I have to say that stability seems to be the most likely one. And one easy way to do that would, for instance, be to find a poor sod, royal marriage them, and then break said royal marriage. I am looking at you, Albania. I could potentially do that with Albania, of course. I do have a royal marriage with Poland. Break royal ties. As you can see, I'm just going to point of prestige, though, it seems like. Which is not good. We'll have to see how I want to handle this. Worst case scenario, I'll have to just make my ruler into general and see if I can march him off into battle. Seems like actually a genius idea. So he's actually 3-4 though, so he's not too shabby. But again, it seems like he will be the new warrior king, and I'll probably, well, try and fit him into war. Otherwise, I have no idea what I can do to actually lose prestige in an effective manner. Sorry, not prestige, lose stability. There's probably something here like turning the Pope into a regular vassal and then releasing him, which would actually be hilariously... It would actually work out pretty good right now. Let's just revert them into regular vassal. And then we're going to break vassalization. And that should, in theory, I think at least give me 1 stability point hit. And again, I'm just doing this for fun's sake. We will also lose... Well, let's just do that. I didn't actually lose anything, I just released them, and they hate my guts for it. This is hilarious, they hate my guts so much, and they started... Everyone started improving relations with them the moment I did it, which is hilarious. But let's just go ahead and upgrade military tank to level 30. Impulse warfare. Military tanks per 0.5, morale increased by a whole point. Maneuver value of units increased 4.5%. I now have, well, some new types of infantry and cavalry, I believe. Next one will also be rather good, as you can see, so it's an interesting one for sure. Let's just upgrade here to Jaeger infantry, I think. Or do we want to go for Let's just go for the Napoleonic square, because we are Napoleon, if you will. It's an offer, we can refuse. We don't really have too much of a spy business to begin with. But yeah, for now we'll just allow the course to call, and I will see here if I can figure out a good way to lose stability. There is probably something here that I can do that is very easy in terms of losing that stability, but I just can't find it, sadly. Breaking royal marriages should in theory work, but doesn't seem like it wants to. Now we will annex. We'll start the annexation of Albania and also Alsace. So let's just go ahead here and take the policy that will make that a little bit cheaper. So Alsace, there you are. An ex-vassal? Oh. Well, that sucks, but let's just go ahead and get Albania then. It will make the map a tiny bit prettier. And with that, I will just go back to waiting, and we'll see here if I have to trigger the revolution of France or not. I have no idea why I didn't realize this. The easiest way to, well, get this done is just declare a no casus belli war. I'll get, well, -1 to stability, of course. And let's just be perfectly honest, I can do that rather easily. Just declare no casus belli war. I'm very tempted to declare one in Shervan, for instance, here. Just go ahead and declare a no casus belli war there. And of course another one in Russia. Let's just be perfectly honest, it's going to work, so why wouldn't I? So let's just take out Russia first, and then we'll take out Shervan. It might be because this is an older version. I'd actually voted to be able to play. I might not get the achievements, which would suck, but I will still go through with this game, and I'll take a mental note that I have them, which I guess works for my own selfish purposes. But yeah, let's just join up our forces here, and we'll start the war with Russia first. They conquered one of my enemies here pretty quickly, and let's just be perfectly honest here. Aggressive expansion doesn't actually count anymore. War extortion is a little bit annoying, but not something I can't handle. And I'm basically just very tempted to see what happens here, how badly my country will get hit if I go for creating a revolution. Worst case scenario here is that I might want to just create some more forces, just to make it more viable and safer to, well, to force this to happen, which is probably a good call on my side. Yes, I'm bracing myself again. And to be perfectly honest, I think that would actually be what I would have to do, just to make sure I played, well, extremely conservatively safe. It's just go for that, well, because what's going to happen is that I'm actually going to end up triggering two different disasters. The Aspiration of Liberty, which I would guess is a revolution in New World, and the French Revolution, which is stability less than 0. So you see, I need to actually go for 3 wars here. And it's going to hurt me in several ways, because national unrest is going to get incredibly high at 17. Currently the national unrest, if you want to check that out, is at -6.54, so it's going to be 10 at its base. To put it in respect to the unrest is -11.54 right now. Potentially this could work to my advantage, but as soon as it triggers, I'm basically just going to have to boost my stability up to incredible levels, or basically max it out right away, because otherwise I'm just going to be completely and utterly destroyed by rebellions right after, well, right after I start the party, if you will. So let's just do this one as well. Stability drop. I'm now at 0. And let's put the king in charge of this party. And hopefully here I will be able to just get what I want. I might go for just a full annexation of Russia too, we'll have to see. But so far everything but Kunzia has been caught, so it's just a tiny bit of waiting here that's required. And these two battles, or these two wars, should be so simple and straightforward that I will not bother waiting with, well, before the end here. We'll take the discipline dude because we're going to need him. And with that in mind, I'm also going to create some more armies here, because I'm going to need them, most likely, if things go as stated here. So let's just go ahead, create 148,000 man army in well, Spain, one in southern France and one in northern France, just to make sure that we can keep everything going. These are 48,000 man armies, meaning that I'll add 150,000 men to my armies, just to make sure that if, well, the revolution and everything will go the way I want them to go. But with that said, we'll go back to waiting here, and we'll see how the war against Shervan and Russia goes. So the war with Russia is more or less over here. Let's just see how much we can take before it becomes a matter of overextension. We can actually take everything here, and I think we'll be going for that. It will make the map look a little bit prettier. And of course it's going to be incredibly expensive to core this. Let's just be completely realistic here. It's not actually that expensive. I have everything I need to do so. Novgorod is the most expensive one here with 49 points. So again, it gets really cheap to core things late game, so that's where you have to do your, well, spur of expansion, if you want to put it that way. Cascieto is done. Let's see here. Let's just do a little bit in this area, help them out. But with that said, Russia is done for, which is good. And I'm going to have my king attack this army, because it would be hilarious if he actually died, and that would trigger a revolution. In essence, it would be hilarious if that happened. Now, I conquered this. Why did it create a cannon? That's actually what happened. I conquered a province that made a cannon for me. That is hilarious. So you two split up then. Have you two join together. Once you're done, you'll join together. Shervan has been sieged, and with that I can probably get the provinces that I want in the area from Shervan. But I think I'll allow the war to keep on going a little bit longer, just to make sure that I actually get everything that I want. Not just what I should be getting, if you can put it that way. But I'll go ahead and leave it here, and we'll continue next time. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment, praise, criticism, anything you feel like, and I'll see you next time, where we might have a revolution on our hands.